Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Wano Bros Podcast, episode 7, I believe, right? Episode 6 or 7, we'll go off that. But we are late on a podcast this week because me and RJ, and Austin unfortunately could not make it, but me and RJ went to NYCC Comic Con and almost wasted all of our time and money waiting for Funko Pops, which was fine, but whatever. Anyway, we have a lot of content. Like, we took a lot of videos. We're gonna go through those in a little bit, but we just wanted to go over maybe some One Piece leaks that we were talking about earlier before the show. Austin, if you want to defend yourself, you can, but you're obviously included on this discussion if you feel like it. But I don't want you to hear these spoilers.
All right, I will deafen. Just give me the sign to come back in then.
All right, I'll give you a thumbs up or something when you see it, and you'll be good. All right?
Sounds good.
All right, guys. Oh my God, RJ. That shit.
I'm really not that hyped. I don't know.
Really?
I mean, I don't think Saturn can be that strong. I think
I think he can, though. I think he can.
I really don't think it's Conqueror's hockey. Frankie can block him.
No, I don't think Frankie was blocking him, bro. I think Frankie just grabbed Luffy and pushed him out of the way.
If he's fast enough to do that.
And Frankie's also a cyborg. We can't forget that.
Still, I mean, I don't know. One Piece. I don't know. I like the directory. I like the direction they're taking, but I don't know if I fuck with it more than I did with Wano. I do like Egghead. I do like how they're actually bringing in the 5 Elder Stars now, but I just don't. It doesn't feel One Piecey to me. If that makes sense.
It doesn't feel One Piecey to
It doesn't feel like seeing Kizaru literally beat in one chapter. It doesn't stop feel One Piecey to me.
Times
and again,
have changed.
I get it. No, they're supposed to be stronger and stuff. It's just kind of weird seeing I get it's Return to Sabaody, but it's I don't know. Especially when Luffy didn't lose that fight. Kizaru lost that fight, and Luffy was pretty much just
incapacitated.
sleeping. He was tired as fuck. That's the only thing that happened.
He was incapacitated.
Kizaru got hit with one star gun, and then
that shit was hard, bro. That was the
but
resembled the shit from when he defeated Kaido. He said, "Boom."
Yeah, but now I mean, the Admiral's songs are just super low now because people were hyping up Admiral's.
I don't think it should be, because if you're getting knocked out by a sun god that can literally stretch your skull,
that's the point. That's the point. It's Admiral's songs are very low because people were Admirals are stronger than Yonko's, and it's Kaido didn't even lose to Luffy, essentially. Kaido lost to Luffy after fighting all 9 scabbards, holding up Onigashima, fighting all of Wano's essential soldiers, and then fighting a literal god. You cannot compare Kizaru to Kaido. I just don't think so. Kizaru got one-tapped after using his awakened Logia fruit if awakened. And I just don't see a world where an Admiral is stronger than a Yonko, especially that this guy's getting breastfed by Saturn, essentially. He's I'm sorry, bro. I can't fight. I can't do it. Got my ass beat. I don't know. I just don't really like the trajectory One Piece take. I fuck with it. It's okay. But it's this whole running gag that Gear 5 loses all of its powers after fighting anybody. And it's not because it's losing. It's just tiredness. He did it with Rob Lucci. He did it against the Seraphim. He did it with Kizaru. He did it with Kaido 3 times. It's just where does Luffy... And I understand why Oda does this. He does this so then there's a plot to it. Luffy needs to get his stamina up, or he needs to do something to truly use whatever his power is. But it's just time and time again we always see the same trope by Oda.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta agree with that. I can't lie to you. We saw this in the beginning of One Piece, right, where it was Alabasta, and then it kind of resembled Skypiea in the sense we have to defeat the big bad to get our country back, and then we saw that with Wano. And it's just I mean, Oda tends to repeat his work, but it's so unique in the sense where I didn't even think about Dressrosa till Austin brought it up earlier. He brought up Dressrosa, and I was oh yeah, oh shit. This, and this happened. There's just so much going on in One Piece. Everything just covers it up. I feel I don't know.
I get you 100%.
There's so many good moments, bro.
It's so many good moments. I just think that people love to give Oda this god tier type of foreshadowing when it's so easy for him to foreshadow things because he recreates arcs in different scenarios. That makes sense.
How do you if that's the case, how do you explain how when we talk about Umibuzo, which is the Japanese fucking the god that was essentially the god of the sea, and we replace it by flipping the word imu and then umi, meaning sea in Japanese.
Well, that's not foreshadowing. That's
And
just
wait,
playing
no, I'm
around
not
with
done yet. I'm not done
booktelling.
yet. That's why. And then we talk about the barrel, where he quite literally almost gets stuck in the whirlpool until he gives himself a barrel, and then he goes away, which is the one sacrifice the Umibuzo will not touch.
And I get it. If that comes back in the story, that's cool. But that's not really foreshadowing. That's just using Japanese folklore to essentially create a scenario. What I'm talking about foreshadowing with Oda that he does is kind of like when you have this trope in Alabasta, like save the princess, and then you have the same thing in Dressrosa, and then you go to Sabaody and you go right to Egghead. It's like I'm not saying that Oda is not a great foreshadower. It's like when you make these scenarios over and over again, it's really easy to bring in old plot points from the old story. Like if you want to give like a good like foreshadowing detail, you can give like what other anime has a really good foreshadowing detail. Um, you can even use like cinema like Star Wars where Anakin has these glimpses and then in a complete different scenario he becomes that reality, and that's like a good foreshadowing in two completely different places. Oda loves to recreate the whole place, scenario, feeling, setting. Like Sabaody legitimately felt like Sabaody was this cool island that was like not futuristic but was completely different in a sense. You had all these bubbles, all the celestial dragons, all these slaves, all this newfound information that we're getting into One Piece. I get it's the same thing. It's just a futuristic island with celestial dragon, with
There
smart
was a
guy.
celestial dragons there.
I said celestial dragon, as in Saturn.
Okay.
You have Kizaru all over again, and
Yeah.
you have so much information to the story, just like how we got in Sabaody. So it's like you have all these things. Just give me one sec.
No, yeah, I agree with what he said basically. But we were just talking about kind of like we were talking about it, and he said he wasn't that hyped for the chapter for some reason. But then we started getting into the stuff that you started complaining about in the beginning of One Piece, which was like the how it kind of tends to repeat itself with arcs.
Who,
So,
me?
yeah.
Yeah.
It repeats itself with arcs, and we were saying like, yeah, it makes sense. It does. And we saw a lot of that in the beginning of One Piece that we were talking about, and then we said like it's starting to happening towards the end.
I feel like a lot of times the manga or like the mangaka will try to end the story the way that they started it. I feel like Black Clover kind of falls into that sort of, I guess, a little bit with the whole Asta the hero thing. That's how it all started. You know, Asta shows his grit at like the exam, and now at the end he's gonna show his grit as well against Julius or Lucifer, whoever he's fighting. And I think the end of the story for Black Clover is gonna be probably within the next year, if I had to guess.
I get that completely, and I think like shows like that are super shonen like that have like a storyline that goes from one point to another point, like very realistically. Like you have Asta, like you said, showing his grit, and also that's what leads him to whatever his goal is. Same thing you have in Naruto, which is like a base storyline. And like I was saying to Omar, without showing any spoilers, I feel like the thing about One Piece is we have the same trope, but everyone gives Oda this like god tier foreshadowing, but he recreates all these arcs the same way he did with the last one. So it's really easy to incorporate those old sentiments or old information into new information. And people are like, "Oh my god, my mind is blown." But it's like you look at the new arc and you look at Sabaody, and they're one and the same. You get new information, almost the same people, a different island, and it's like, yeah, you give credit where credit's due for foreshadowing, but it's like you recreate these scenarios to the point where it's super easy to have a foreshadow.
So he's almost using the same formula for these like
Every arc.
for like interpol. I don't know what the word is, but like the intermission arcs, because like Sabaody Archipelago is kind of like a arc to get into a much bigger arc in a way, like sort of like Amazon Lily is like the build up to Marineford, and how Punk Hazard is the build up to Dressrosa right now for me. And you just feel that as you watch it. When I watched Punk Hazard through the entire thing, and they just kept mentioning like Doflamingo, Joker, it just made me feel that the whole arc was made just to set up Dressrosa as this huge thing, and like Punk Hazard is just this side story that Oda decided to put in so he can have a like a foreshadowing to bring in Don Quixote and have like a semi backstory of who Don Quixote and like his alias Joker is. So when you get to Dressrosa, you already sort of have a background knowledge of who the guy already is.
Yeah. But I feel like that's actually pretty necessary because not only did you bring in a reason to bring Don Quixote do Flamingo into the story, you also brought somebody who is an antithesis to him, and that can also be a ally to Luffy, which was Trafalgar Law. And Trafalgar Law, we learn later on. I'm not going to spoil it because you did not get there yet, but it sets up for something later on why he's helping Luffy and how that is going. So.
And knowing where the story is now in the anime, at least, like Wano and who they're fighting, Kaido, you see that, like, even as far back as Dressrosa is the build up to Wano. Because that's all their whole plan is to get Don Quixote to fight with Kaido after the Smiles are destroyed. But it kind of turns into, Luffy, here's the story of Rebecca, the island, and he does what Luffy does, which is go kick the crap out of the bad guy in the arc. So it's sort of, I sometimes get like Arlong Park vibes from Dressrosa in the same way, because you have this whole like island that has like one person ruling over it, and the goal of them is to like sort of beat him. But then as Luffy learns more and more about the people and the backstories of the island and what they've had to go through, it turns into like, I need to kill this guy. I don't care about the original plan, because I don't think he really, like, in Arlong, I don't think he like planned necessarily to just beat the shit out of Arlong until he saw how much it hurt Nami, because we also get the iconic scene where he puts the straw hat on her, and that's where he makes his decision, like, he's going to liberate the entire island.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I just feel like he reuses the same scenarios almost every single arc, and I love One Piece. It will always remain, I guess, my favorite. But it's just you see Alabasta,
He's
Dressrosa,
hating.
save the princess, defeat the bad guy. Holy crap, it's Wano. We have to defeat the bad guy and save the people. And I get it, that's Luffy's trope. It's a shonen anime. But it's like we reuse his ideas almost every time. Like I can almost completely guarantee that right after Egghead is gonna be a goddamn Marineford.
And I
That's my
feel
tip.
that is where people get annoyed with One Piece fans, because they hold Oda to such a high standard that if anyone talks bad about his writing or his storytelling, you don't like the show, you hate it, you're like against
Yeah.
it and stuff. But it's like, why don't you look at the counter arguments that these people are coming up with to see if they're actually valid?
It's true, because, dude, I love One Piece, but the whole issue with One Piece fans is that there's no criticism with them. It's either whatever Oda takes up his pen, you cannot criticize it, you can't say anything bad about it. But it's like, you have these 3-season shows that never recreate ideas that are set as in masterpieces, like something like Steins Gate, or even like mangas like Tokyo Ghoul that do not reuse ideas. Let's not talk about Tokyo Ghoul's anime because it sucks.
Yeah.
But it's like you don't reuse ideas. Or you can even have a show like Gintama that is like so many filler episodes that is so good, does not reuse ideas. And
Now,
it's
does
like,
Bleach reuse ideas?
I don't say Bleach reuse. I think it reincorporates like settings, like how One Piece does, but it turns them differently. Like you can have in the first season this whole society where you think the bad guys are the bad guys. But in reality, the bad guys are the good guys, and there's one bad guy. And then you can just throw that all the way to the end where you were fighting with the Quincy's, and all the Quincy's are like, well, you guys are all the bad guys, and it's like one guy at the top like incorporating everything, just like how Aizen did it in the Soul Society arc. So it's like you say that, but I think that's like a pinnacle model of an antagonist, and I think Bleach does that better than One Piece, because I mean, name me like 3 good One Piece antagonists
Mm.
other
Uh,
than
You know who I
Doflamingo,
think
Don
that
Quixote, Doflamingo, and Joker.
You know who I think did that really well though? That we all miss in some sense. I miss Vinland Saga, right? Because it just fucking flipped. You went
I have it right here at the back, my background,
Vinland Saga,
Farming Simulator.
Farming Simulator.
Yeah, I think Vinland Saga did that like perfectly, where you can flip a story on its head and it still retains the great storytelling and just the emotional impact you can have from the story. Because I'm sure season 2 came along and a lot of people wanted to just see Thorfinn going around chopping people's heads off and killing them. And then you get this farming simulator, basically, like RJ said.
Hmm.
But you're so invested still in the story about how Thorfinn is just developing as a character, and he has this like epiphany that he doesn't want to be violent anymore. He doesn't want to hurt people anymore. But in the world, he still has to resort to violence at certain points, and he can't deny that that's going to happen. So he has to take his stands where he can, while he also develops as a character into a person that he believes is like he can look himself in the mirror and go, "I'm a great person, no matter what I did in the past."
Yeah, and I think that what I think that's what made the anime so good. The fact that it just was able to switch up and still make sense within the story, and eventually, he made it back home, right? So
I mean, top 5 anime scene of all time for me is the dagger drop in the last episode of season 1, where he drops the dagger and the dagger is falling and it's replaying his entire story.
Yeah, I saw all the back. Yeah,
Sorry
that was
about hitting
great.
the mic.
No, that was great.
but like also to bring up like a key like notion that people love to like disagree with. It's like the reason why some of these mainstream animes are very mainstream is because just frankly they're very good. Like I've watched so much shit, but I can still agree that the top 5 things that people watch have great source material. They do not reuse ideas. They follow a beginning and an end, except for Berserk, you know.
Well, Berserk
But
can't help that. I mean, didn't the
yeah,
author die?
no, I'm not even talking about that, dog. I'm just talking about just every arc. This dude's like flip flopped, flip flop, flip flop, flip
Oh,
flop. But
I don't even really
I,
know
I,
ending. I
I,
was gonna
I,
say like,
I
well,
I
he
might
can't really
disagree.
help that.
I mean that too. I mean that was sad. Rest in peace. But um, yeah, like everyone could sit here and be like, "Oh, Death Note's the most mainstream." Like it's like not all that. Like people will like say, "Oh, Tomodachi Game is great." Tomodachi Game is this. Like yes, but there wouldn't be shows like Tomodachi Game without Death Note.
Hmm.
Exactly.
There wouldn't be a psychological series like Death Note if it wasn't for Death Note. Like I think Death Note, which is a shonen show, because it was that fucking good. It was a shonen show, recreated this whole genre that people were missing out on. And he was, oh well, you have Conan, Detective Conan, that little kid. Fuck Detective Conan. Who cares about Detective Conan? I'm kidding. But Death Note recreated this whole aspect, and then you see all these miscellaneous shows kind of follow in its footsteps. That's why mainstream, like some animes, are just popular. Like you can hate on them all they want, call them, oh, everyone watches it. You're not special. It's basic. But it's like there's a reason why they're mainstream, and that's what makes them special because they're good. They're easy to follow. Well, I mean, Death Note's not really easy to follow, but they're good to watch. They're intriguing. They're interesting, and I think people who love to just sit behind that rhetoric that they're basic is like you're just gatekeeping for people.
Well, and they're perfect starter animes if they are basic because people can grasp the like
Idea.
basic idea of how animes are going to be portrayed and how stories go. I think the biggest what's the word? The biggest like offender of repeating stuff is Demon Slayer because every single arc it's the same exact arc just with
Every
a
arc.
different villain. It's Tanjiro goes here, I mean Swordsmith Smith is different cuz there's no Zenitsu and Inosuke with him, but it's the same thing. He just has Nezuko and the Wind Hashira's brother this time who eats demons.
Again, is it?
And it's upper rank demon comes. Tanjiro has to fight them with the the Hashira, whoever's there. They defeat the upper rank demon. Something big happens at the end. Now we're on to the next upper rank demon or the next village or training arc or something like that. And it's the same exact arc over and over again. And it's basic, but people like it for the animation. And the simple storytelling is very easy to follow along. But I mean, if you watch a bunch of anime, then you go into Demon Slayer, you're like, holy crap, the animation's great. At the same time, isn't every arc the same exact arc?
I like Demon Slayer a lot. For its source material, and people say here that the anime does better than source material.
When do you
But
think it ends?
what do you mean?
When do you think Demon Slayer ends?
I mean, they still have 3 arcs to essentially dissolve to. But like I was gonna say too, I do think Infinity Castle and Countdown to Sunrise arc were the best arcs in Demon Slayer, and I think it's because they don't reuse the same ideas. I think it takes those ideas and then expands it to a point where it's like give all or lose everything. And that's why I do like those two arcs, and I cannot wait for them to be adapted. But like Austin said, I think the beginning of Demon Slayer, Tengen comes in. You have this new Hashira to fight the Upper Moon Demon. Then you have Rengoku to fight this Upper Moon Demon. Then you have Uchiha to fight this Upper Moon Demon. You have Mitsuru to fight this Upper Moon Demon. And then you have the whole arc is kind of like that put together, but there's actual like I don't know, like reading Demon Slayer at least without knowing stuff is kind of like okay, well we know Tanjiro's gonna go to this arc. This Hashira's probably gonna have like either one leg or he's gonna die. But the last arc was kind of encapsulating because it's either damn these motherfuckers all about to die or nothing else.
And I think the best example of that in the final arc is the Akaza versus Tanjiro and Giyu Tomioka fight. I think that just breaks the mold of Demon Slayer out the window, and it's like the best fight in the series for me. It hasn't been animated yet, but when it does, people are going to see that fight has great storytelling, has just great flow, everything, and the ending.
Great flow, literally.
You're not gonna realize what the ending is if you're just an anime only. You're gonna watch it, and then when the ending hits of the fight, you're gonna go, that's not what I thought was gonna happen.
Everything in that whole arc was essentially a get back. Tanjiro was getting his get back. Inosuke and Flower Girlfriend were getting their get back. Sani was getting his get back, and then they all collectively, once they beat the Upper Moons, all got their get back on. Well, I mean, they all died in it, but all got their get back. So it's like there was actually vengeance to the story, whereas in every single arc was kind of like, I need to save my sister, I need to beat this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and then the whole last arc was like, yo, this is the antagonist. We gotta kill this motherfucker. That's the whole thing bad about Demon Slayer. Every single season, there's no antagonist because we know there's one, and it's just pent up to it, and that's why the last the last two arcs are good.
Yeah.
All right. What do you guys think? We go over some NYCC stuff.
It wasn't really. It was okay this year.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't as good as like we've been through before, but it did take a lot of videos. If you guys.
Do you guys think the more you go, the less exciting it gets because you already experienced it, or every time you go, is there at least new like voice actors to meet, new stands to see? I know you guys go for like Funko Pops, so obviously throughout a year, a lot of Funko Pops are gonna be released. Is that like your only goal when you go to Comic-Con is to get like rare or unique Funko Pops?
And I guess I just think the only thing that I found cool at Comic-Con this year, I mean, I don't know, I didn't find it surprising this year, was when Omar got signed UG by the voice actor, and then Kaiji Tang, that was also Gojo's voice actor was right there. It was pretty cool. He also voices in Digimon, which is really funny. But that was cool. We also saw the dude from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Chris Pratt?
No. I wish. I forgot his name. The High Evolutionary. I forgot his name though. It's like Olawuji or something like that. His last name.
Oh, I didn't watch the third one though.
No, but he's a good actor.
I was gonna say like, Batista.
That type of stuff is kind of like surreal. It's cool. Like deviated from why I wanted to go. I wanted to go to see all this cool stuff that people made, and it's like for every one like design or art stand, you had like 15 reselling stands. Someone trying to hustle. So it's like it's turned into like this like reselling con when it used to be like NYCC would give these booths to people that like made cool shit, and they would sell it because there's no market for them online. So it'd be cool to see something in person. That's one of one. But I didn't really see much of that, in my opinion. It was either Funko Pops or just reselling cards or like an AI painted poster. Yeah.
So almost like a sneaker event, like a sneaker con, where you go and all the tables are people who have shoes that are already out, and it's like, well, I already seen this shoe. I know it's expensive, but you're just trying to resell it to make money. It's not like anything that's gonna blow my mind.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what I thought at least.
We're going over that little like box that we saw. Remember that? Where it was like the manga covers that were coming out, and it was like Jujutsu Kaisen stuff.
That was cool. Yeah,
that was really cool. It was like immersive, but we weren't able to get like inside. Now we're looking at Luffy, like his big like thing, and this is me like going around and like checking it out because
so many Gojos at the con.
Yeah, there's so many Gojos. Oh my god.
Cosplayers.
A lot of Trafalgar Laws too.
Well, you did say that the Law voice actor was there, so
Yep.
That is true, yeah.
I'm guessing whoever the voice actors are going to be there, people probably try to cosplay those characters so they can, get a photo with them, and be like, I cosplayed with the character that you voice.
I don't know. I like cosplaying is cool, but sometimes it's just like it's
A
a bit
little
too
too
much for me.
much sometimes.
I
Was
think
there
I think
any?
I think hyper realistic like cosplaying is cool because like damn you put like effort into that. But like you buy like a $10 Amazon Fogger Law jacket and then a puffy hat. You know what I mean? It's like people that actually
Yeah.
put it just discredits people that like actually put in work to that. Like, we saw like I saw some really cool Gojo ones, Toji ones. I saw a cool Nobara one that actually like looked like dead ass. Like they looked like movie propped like cosplaying. Like it's crazy. But there was just like so many fucking Trafalgar Laws that were just straight out of Amazon Basics list.
Well, it's like, think about if you saw two cosplayers at an event. One was like how you described it. They just bought like a $10 Law jacket off Amazon, then like a puffy hat, and then standing next to them was someone who put in the work to make like a full Evangelion
Yeah,
cosplay.
that's pretty, yeah,
And
that's
it
what I'm
and
saying.
it's
It's like
like, of course you're gonna like duh, like the Evangelion is way cooler, and it's like, what do you want me to say about your Law? Like, cool jacket, cool hat. I don't know, like, put some effort into it.
there's a cool Pikachu Deadpool. That was really dope.
Was there any Cheeseroos from Rent a Girlfriend cosplayers?
You wish. You fucking wish. You wish. You
Yeah,
wish.
that's not a.
Or some redo of a healer cosplayers?
I would have walked out of the convention if I saw that. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie.
But
I
Um,
always wonder what like
I really liked it, to be honest. I mean,
really cool. Oh, so keep going on, my bad.
yeah, it was cool in the sense where I thought like there was a lot of cool things. Like there was a lot of One Piece stuff, believe it or not. There's like a lot of One Piece clothes, Dragon Ball clothing. Like remember when Nick got that freaking sweater? It was
That
so
was really cool. That was really cool.
so
But
cool.
that was like 1 out of 100 stands, though. You know what I mean? Like last year wasn't like that. Last year was like everything was like that.
Yeah, it was
Speaking
cool.
about Dragon Ball, did you guys see the new anime for Dragon Ball? It's
Oh
coming
my
out next
god,
year.
wait, I'm so sorry. RJ, did you see my video I sent you earlier?
You
Brooke
sent me
is
a lot
at
of videos. Yes,
Brooke.
I know he's at NYCC.
He's at NYCC today.
Is he there till Sunday or no?
I don't know.
I'm bringing it
He's
just in
with the
case.
Dragon Ball panel. I might have to give you mine as well, bro.
Oh, the
Who
Dragon
is
Ball
it?
panel's not on Sunday. That means GG's.
Uh-oh.
Ian Sinclair. He voices Brooke in One Piece.
Oh, okay.
Man.
But one takeaway from New York Comic Con. Um, really cool like panels, not panels but booths by whoever like made them. Like Crunchyroll had this Jujutsu Kaisen booth where when you would walk into it, it'd be like immersive, and you would like see Jujutsu Kaisen the Shibuya around a world you. Really cool. I don't know if you went into that Omar, did you?
I'm sorry?
Did you go into the Shibuya Dome? The Crunchyroll booth.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. No, I didn't.
Damn, why not?
I don't know. I didn't see it. We saw it a couple times. We went around and it was such a long line.
I went in there. It just shows you Shibuya.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Wish I did.
There's also a really fucking accurate, like, dude, if you saw the Toji, there's a Toji Fushiguro cosplay, dude, the guy looked crazy. Like, down to the T, even had the curse around him and the inverted spear heaven. I was like, what the? I was like that's what I find cool. It's like, that, like, you put your time and effort in, and, like, that's cool, people credit you, but it's like, bruh, it's like, Trafalgar Law, Amazon Basics hoodie. It's like, how you gonna compete
Well,
with that? How you gonna compete with that?
I think a big thing for cosplayers that people really enjoy is when you know that they really enjoy the character of the show when they get like the very small details that only people who are like really invested in the show or the series would get out of it. Like you said, like having the curse around him, his weapon and stuff. Like those are all like small details that like you gotta be like really into Jujutsu Kaisen to like know, and you didn't just like put on like a blue T-shirt with like white pants or whatever and like a fake scar and be like, I'm Toji.
Oh, we saw that, trust me.
Bro.
They were there.
RJ,
Yes.
he's only there till tomorrow.
Ouch.
His
I
last
know
day
you're
is
sick.
tomorrow. My stomach hurts. I'm in pain.
Whatever. It's whatever.
I'm in pain.
But yeah, NYCC was cool. We met some TikTokers.
Big
Yeah,
TikTokers?
that guy. What's his name?
I was in his video. The guy who he does like the $1 mystery gift, and
Did
then
he
he just
post
takes
it?
random
Oh.
people. Nah, I don't know if he posted it, but it was really funny.
Yeah, it was.
Is it the Asian
I'm
guy who
sick to
does
my
that?
stomach.
Yeah, that guy.
Okay. I don't know
went
his account name. I don't want to be like
yeah.
rude, but
I went to his mic and I was like, Rice Gum, please, please, Rice Gum.
And then we were like, collab.
Funny.
Yeah, but it was fun. I mean, I liked meeting like local celebrities. Like we saw the fake Peter Griffin, like walking.
We see him at every fucking con, dude. The guy's inescapable. Guy is inescapable. You can't miss him.
We didn't
I
see
don't know.
David Sobolov.
Yeah, he wasn't there. The guy's capper. The
No,
voice
it
actor
said
for
on the
Kaido.
NYCC website that he was gonna be there.
Yeah, the voice actor for Kaido was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be there, guys. It's be cool. Do some signings."
And he said Ian
Talks just like
Sinclair
that.
was gonna be there. That's where we got it
Right.
from.
He done said the whole cast of One Piece was gonna be there. There was no one.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed.
damn, double homicide.
Double. I was like 10 homicide. The whole crew ain't show up.
So the new Dragon Ball anime. Did you guys see that get announced?
GT2, you mean?
It's like
I
Dragon Ball
hate it.
Daimon.
Daimo, I hate it. I hate it so much. It is just GT2. They're taking the GT direction. I don't know what they're doing. Baby Goku, Baby Vegeta. They're gonna do this shit all over again because, god damn it, you South America, fuck you. They fucking love GT, and that's why they're fucking doing it. There's like an undisputed even like Lower North, like dude, don't get me started about this like side of the planet. Like even if you go down below the U.S. and go to Mexico, these motherfuckers they should pay them for like art direction because if you look at Xenoverse and you look at all the Budokai Tenkaichis, they're all modded with GT characters. They fucking love GT. Spanish people love GT. I do not know why. I do not. There's just something fascinating about a red tail. They fucking love GT. I do not know why. That's the reason GT's lights are on. That's the reason their bills are paid. Hispanic people. I do not know why.
Oh my god,
I
bro.
I don't. I hate GT. I hate it.
I was gonna say, I think Dragon Ball has to be the most popular anime in every Hispanic country because every time I've met someone Hispanic and you ask them what their favorite anime is, it's
Dragon Ball.
always Dragon Ball.
It's always GT too. Like they just fucking love GT. I do. It is not even canon. It's filler.
Oh, the kids I went to school with, they loved Kai the most actually.
Yeah, but DBC guy is kind of like, yo, let's make this shit for Americans. Subtitle it completely different. Give it some better animation, and just push out like 100 episodes. And boom, that's it. Just reuse content from the 90s. Just that's all it was.
God damn. Well, what else do we have in mind? I mean,
JJK's last episode.
Oh my god, yeah, that's
Nanami looked like the fucking Chad.
Nanami is crazy. They underplayed it in the manga a little bit, and then in the anime they fucking killed it. Like in the...
Yeah.
Go ahead, Larry. I'm sorry.
It's like there's one thing I did not like about the last episode was that the driver is actually a student that was actually enrolled while Gojo and Anami, Habarai, and all the all these people were in class. So he's like a friend. He's like a classmate. I get why Nanami's so pissed. But they done gave this dude 1 second of screen time in his death. They didn't give him even words after he died. He just got stabbed.
Literally.
All that happened just for a build up for Nanami to turn to a Giga Chad. If that makes sense. So it's like I do not, and they did that same thing in the manga, and I was like, what the fuck, man? I was like, why is it so small? Like this dude is a classmate of that certain class. He just got stabbed, and then next panel we just switched to Megami and Yuji. It's like what the? I just didn't like that part. Like they could have elaborated on that a little more, and like I guess like give him a flashback or something, like while he was dying after he got stabbed. Like, oh well, this is the end for me. Because this guy, by any means, was not important to the story, but he had a point in the story. Yuji was cool with him. Everybody was cool with him. He showed up in almost every other episode, driving someone somewhere. You know what I mean? For him to just get blicked like that.
Was he
And
a
he's
classmate?
also
He was a classmate. Or
Yes,
was he like,
search it up. Yes, he
was
was
he
a
like a
classmate.
superior? Like
No, he was their age. That's why Nanami's so pissed.
well, I think that's where I
Look
agree
at
with
the hit inventory card. Yeah.
I agree with RJ because I feel like he showed up pretty frequently in season 1, and like I didn't even know he was classmates until RJ just said that. So it's like if they give us that flashback, it gives us more context to why Nanami is so angry and why he because they build up in the episode where Nanami's talking to himself. He's like, I never let my emotions get to me. And then we see him get his emotions get to him and fight this blonde-haired dickwad, whatever the hell his name is. And he's pissed.
Okay, I gotta argue that. That's not getting the best of him. That's getting fucking revenge.
Well, his emotions, because he says he never lets his emotions hit him while he's at work, is like the monologue he has with himself.
I mean,
And
technically
then,
he didn't. I mean, he was angry, but it was like
Well, I mean, you
you
have to
can
look at
tell.
it,
You can kind of tell he was still containing himself to a degree.
but you have to look at
no.
it this way: that Nanami looks at JJK sorcery as a salary job, like how he got out of his salary job, and the reason why he started a salary job is because when he lost Gato, technically, he lost Habarai, he lost goddamn near everyone in the Jujutsu Kaisen world that he actually cared about. And then once he thought it was all over, I guess he has this like grace period of like nothing happening. Another one of his classmates, who he seamlessly probably sees every fucking day, got murdered, and he was like, "Get, I'm gonna go kick a chat and murder this dude." So I just didn't like how the driver didn't get any backstory,
You know
like
what I really
while
didn't
he was
like about the
dying, because
episode?
they're gonna talk about it. It's just like, come on.
Why the fuck did Nanami just walk while this bitch was just getting stabbed in the leg? Well, what was her name? I'm sorry. What was her name?
Nita.
I don't even know. But
Nichika, something like that?
she was just being stabbed in the leg, and Nanami is just fucking walking. It's just like, why are you? There's no sense of urgency. He's hearing her get stabbed, and he's just like,
You have to have a dramatic entrance when you're a hero.
no.
We learned this from One Punch Man. You got to make a dramatic entrance.
I haven't seen season 2 yet. Where is that? Where can I
One
find-
Punch Man?
Yeah.
It should be on Hulu.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Why is it on Hulu?
I believe they bought the rights to it
They
because
bought
I
the
don't
film
think.
for that, really? That's actually fucking weird.
Yeah, just season 2 though. I think because season 1's still on Netflix.
It's just typical Western companies trying to get into anime because they know it's gonna make money.
Well, I mean, Sony controls so much of the manga space already. I'm surprised they haven't bought
What do you
Hulu.
mean?
They have Crunchyroll and Funimation, which
Oh
they're
shit!
resolving.
They're the parent. They're like the co-parent owner or something.
They own both. They bought both of them, and then that's why Crunchyroll gets simuldub releases now. They didn't used to. That only happen on Funimation, but because Sony bought Funimation, they're absolving or like dissolving the Funimation brand.
Was Funimation like a
So it was like
Sony
mostly
company?
English dubs. Yeah, they owned Funimation first, and then they bought Crunchyroll like a year ago, and I think maybe a year and a half ago. But I remember it was like last summer, maybe last fall, is when they started to fully integrate all the dubs that were just on Funimation over to Crunchyroll. And then I think maybe a month or two ago, they just bought one of the biggest like anime apparel sites. And now they're taking over that, and they're gonna make that on like the Crunchyroll store basically. So they're kind of like trying to monopolize the market so they can, change prices and shit. Typical,
Everything's gonna go up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which I mean, Crunchyroll store has good products. I just hope that they don't like blow out of proportion because I got like my Attack on Titan watermelon T-shirt for like $12 on clearance off of Crunchyroll store, and but I'm excited for next episode of JJK.
Yeah,
With
I have this hoodie from Crunchyroll. It's like Zoro, and they only released it once. I forgot how long it lasted, but it lasted a few minutes. Like everybody bought that shit, and then it never re-released.
oh, I thought you meant like you got it and like within the first few minutes it already like ripped or something.
No,
Yeah, you sound like you wore that shit out.
no, I didn't. I still have it to this day.
I almost started. This might be funny, you guys. There is a really cool devil fruit shirt that Crunchyroll has on the store. I don't know if it's still up, but I almost started One Piece just so I could get the shirt and wear it, so I could.
Wow, that's
So I
merch
could
for
be
you.
like, I could be like, oh, like yeah, I watched the show and like know like 2 arcs in the beginning. Like I would only know like Romance Dawn and Logetown. No, not Logetown. What is it? Orangetown. Also, I can't believe Buggy's a warlord all of a sudden. What the hell?
Oh, don't you have? Whoa, does he know?
Does he know?
I thought that was kind of crazy when I saw that.
Does he know?
I thought they were talking about like just people who escaped from Impel Down, and I was like, nah, no, there's no way Buggy's a warlord. That guy sucks. He does nothing. But I guess he is.
It's exactly what
Yeah.
Luffy says.
Yeah.
Quite literally, he's like, Luffy's like, what? Buggy? Boogie? Like, why?
Also, in the new JJK episode, we saw Toji took over that guy's body.
I
So
love
he's
Toji.
back.
The goat.
I'm excited. I
So
wanted
is
to
now
see him.
Toji back from the dead? Is that what's happening right now?
I think so, because he said he took over the body, right, RJ?
So essentially that granny has a curse technique that allows whatever part of the body you have kind of like left of this certain person, so they can transform into that, but their soul sticks in. So like essentially, if you have Gojo, it's just the same thing with Toji. If you have Toji's like nail clippings and he eats them, you can have the body of Toji, but you retain your soul. That's why the granny was like, "Yo, what the?" Like, I make sure to keep the soul out of my technique, and he was like, "Wait till you hear heavily restriction, Grandma," and then he proceeded to face punch her. So
Yeah, he said you're a sorcerer too, bitch.
Yeah,
yeah, he's like, "You can get it."
I was hoping he was gonna like drop down and like land right next to Megami and Itadori when they're on the highway with that old guy, but I'm sure he'll come into
You
the
mean the one
fight
that looks
sooner
like
or later.
Zoro?
The old guy who looks like Zoro.
Remember?
I know what he means. He wears the same garments.
Oh,
He wore the
I was-
same thing. You didn't see that? It
I
was
didn't
the
get
guy,
Zoro
he
from
had
that.
he had like a belt like around his belly, and
Yeah.
it was green, and then he had a white shirt and black pants, exactly like Zoro.
Oh, I thought you meant like how he actually looked, and I was like, no, he does not
No,
look
he
anything.
didn't look like Zoro. Like he was bald, like
just
and looked
cosplayed
really
him.
ugly. But his outfit was exactly Zoro's outfit from pre-time skip.
All right, I got a question for you guys.
All right.
Yes.
This comes from my anime list. I just found it. What is your number one reason for an anime to turn you off from it?
Degeneracy.
That too, but I would need good story and good animation. I need something to like grab me by the hook ASAP. Like I only stuck with One Piece because it was long and I needed a long show to watch because I'm different and I rush through shows so quickly. Right?
I feel that.
So that's when I started One Piece and I was just like I wasn't really too hooked in. But by the time Arlong Park came around, I was completely hooked. And then when Skypiea was there, I was hooked, but then I was like still like hanging off the edge. Because
I don't even know if I could say I'm hooked on One Piece yet.
I think you are. Because you
I
did
don't-
say you were going to take a break and then you didn't. So,
I took a 1.5 week break,
fair enough. Fair enough.
so that's letting one more episode be on my plate.
But
So-
I think
it was just like an anime has to pick me up like animation wise and like story wise for me to really be interested.
So that begs my question to you, Omar. How the hell did you stay in with Black Clover then? Because those first like 20 episodes of Black Clover, Asta is one of the most annoying pieces of shit I've ever heard in my entire life. Because he just
Do you wanna
yells
tell him?
constantly.
no, because Omar loves that fucking trope. He loves like the regular shonen trope. That's why.
No. Do you know like it took me so long to watch Black Clover though? RJ was begging me for
I was
years.
begging this guy to watch it. I was like, dude, the first season's like not unbearable to watch, but I told him like this, it's gonna be Rock Lee as the main character. It's just Rock Lee as the main character.
Yeah.
And that's the perfect way to put it.
If
Black
he actually
Clover-
had screen time.
Yeah, Brock Lee if you actually had screen time. That's all it is. But it's just what it is. And also Omar just really likes that trope. He likes the regular shonen trope where it's kind of like you have a goal. This is the beginning. This is the end. It's just easy to follow.
Yeah, and Asta is whiny. Like, don't get me wrong. Like that man whiny as hell. Like
He ain't Deku though.
He ain't Deku though. That's right. Deku. That's. I think that's why I stopped because I didn't really catch up with the manga because I wasn't really too interested in My Hero Academia like that. But when it reached the part where it was like Deku versus Class A, I was just like, what the fuck is this? I thought Deku was actually gonna go all out and actually start like
Bodying some classmates.
bodying some classmates.
Chuck fucking Minato into a wall. Just once for the
Like,
just
that's
once for
it.
the audience.
I hate Mineta. He's one of the reasons why.
Yeah,
I
like
just-
and you know what?
I
Fuck
hate Mineta.
Mineta. Nobody likes him. Like you could throw him to a wall multiple times. I don't care.
I love him.
Shut up.
He's
You
funny
you like
sometimes.
Purple
He's
Bubble
funny.
Boy.
He's funny sometimes. I'll give him that. He is funny
He's
sometimes,
a
but most of
perv,
the time
bro.
he is just so unbearably annoying that like you want to like just hit L on your keyboard when watching on Crunchyroll, like skip 10 seconds ahead to get the fuck out of his dialogue because you don't care.
Yeah, that's how I
For
am.
me, it's like I think a turnoff for me is kind of like the same with you, Omar, but like I stick with shows longer. I think it's when like the story is just I've seen it before. Like or like it's very like generic because I feel like I've watched a good bit of anime in each genre that I can tell like especially like isekais, I can just be like, okay, this just isn't for me. Like I'm not it's just I already saw this like 40 times already. I don't want to see it again. And I also think like main characters who I was gonna say main characters who like the author like neglects, but then I'm still watching Rent a Girlfriend, so how true is that? I just feel like I feel like it's just the same as Omar. Like I need something to like hook me in at least 4 episodes in, for me to be like I gotta keep going.
I usually give things a chance. I'm not gonna lie, and I think it turns around and actually gets paid in full. So, because you can have a really good beginning, like um, what's that one anime by the Tokyo Ghoul creator? Forgot what it's
Ooh.
called. Hold on, let me search it up. Tokyo Ghoul creator, new anime.
His new manga. I know his new manga is at Chojin X, but it
Uh,
doesn't have an anime yet. I don't think.
it's like Omar, oh, yeah, Omar, what's that anime called that we kind of watched for a bit? Tokyo Ghouls or
Oh
Death Note. It was Death Notes. No, Death Note.
no, it was
Was it?
not Death Note.
It was Tokyo Ghoul's creator.
I can look it up.
I think it's Death Note.
Adaptation.
Creator makes new anime.
Where's his name?
Platinum End. Death Note's creators. Platinum End had such a good beginning, such an interesting like goal, really fucking cool plot, and then turned shit after episode 3. That's what I'm saying. It's like you can get so hooked on him and get so disappointed.
What is it?
Platinum End. Platinum's End. Platinum End.
I don't even think I've ever heard of that.
Oh yeah, we watched it for a little while. We never picked it up.
Yeah,
Oh
because it
my!
sucked. It sucked after a while.
It has a 6 out of 10 on my anime list.
It
It
was
sucked.
really good in the beginning.
That's my whole point. Some shows will intrigue you and interest you and then turn into a bag of monkey shit. That's just sad narrative that a lot of animes have. It's
It's
true.
hard. It's hard too
That's
because
just
I
the
feel
word
like
he used.
I
I
mean,
feel that a show like Bungo Stray Dogs, it takes time to get like really good,
he
but
knows
like
he knows his shit.
but like
Bundo
you
Stray
still are
Dogs.
like so intrigued by it
I
because
love Bungo Stray Dogs.
there's so many like twists and turns in the story that you don't expect, and you always have that feeling of what's gonna happen next. And I got the same from like okay, Kingdom. I always talk about Kingdom. The first season, CGI trash animation. The story though is so fucking good that you are so invested in it. I don't care if it was X Arm animation, I would still watch Kingdom. And it's almost at X Arm how bad it is sometimes. But dude, if you watch Kingdom, you're gonna go, holy shit, the animation sucks in season 1, but I was hooked by the story. Because if you guys like One Piece, you'll love Kingdom more than One Piece. I promise you. That's a
Alright, guys.
bold claim.
It was a really good podcast today. We're gonna go and hack.
Have you watched Kingdom?
No, but you can't just sit out here and just spread claims like that.
That's, I mean, it's
It
one.
is the
It's a
longest.
higher rated manga than One Piece, I think, on my anime list.
And then
Okay,
you
and
guys
then
both said
Oh
Fullmetal
no, it's not.
wait,
Alchemist
wait,
was
wait.
dog shit, and I
Let me
love it,
tell
but it's
him
number
this. Let me
one.
tell him
So
this. Who's ranked number one on Manga Plus?
I don't know.
well,
Probably
that's
One
manga.
Piece.
We're talking
Piece.
about we're talking, we're talking
One
about
Piece is
well,
ranked higher than
yeah, it is,
Kingdom.
but that's manga. We're talking about anime. And two
Same
different
thing,
things.
bro. I mean, like, it doesn't really
No,
matter.
no, that doesn't work like that. No, you have shows like Tokyo Ghoul that are complete utter garbage, but the manga is amazing.
No,
If
I can
like you guys,
understand that.
you guys both hate Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, but it's number one on my enemy list, and I love Fullmetal
Doesn't
Alchemist.
matter.
So, but you can use that if you can't use that to discredit One Piece, then why can't I use Fullmetal Alchemist being a better anime than Kingdom if you don't
Well,
like
I
it?
was wrong. I didn't know One Piece. One Piece jumped actually. It used to be like number 11 manga. Now it's number 4. So
Where's AOT?
AOT. Oh,
We
it's
were
actually
number
pretty far
one for a
down.
long
It
time.
dropped. It was like AOT was like 2. for season 4.
One Piece was on top for a long time.
Oh, the anime?
Yeah, the anime.
I'm talking about the for manga.
No, go on anime. I'm talking about my anime list. My anime list, Fullmetal Alchemist is always number 1. Death Note's usually number 2.
Yeah.
Steins Gate number
No,
5.
Steins Gate number 2.
I just said that.
Ooh. No, you said
You said
Steins
Death
Gate
Note.
number 5.
Oh. Really? Steins Gate 2?
Actually,
Fullmetal Alchemist is number 1 though. Fullmetal Alchemist is always number 1.
Attack on Titan's all the way down at 12.
Where's One Piece?
Final season.
That going down by like
I'm not
used to be
gonna
number
lie.
like 2 at one point.
Where's One Piece?
I don't think One Piece is even in. It's not even in the top
No.
50.
I think One Piece is.
But guess what is
87.
in the top 50? Kingdom Season 3, because it's the
Well,
fucking
well,
greatest.
well. When you have
ever.
2,000 people voting and they all vote 4.5 stars,
95,000 actually.
and how many votes does Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood have?
It has 3.2 million members, but how many people voted? Let's see. It has 2.3 million.
So
There is nothing that can
the
tell.
pool is
Why
bit
is
different.
Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood the greatest anime of all time? Then give me one reason.
it's just a redo of what shit happened, and I think everyone can agree that it's the greatest comeback story. Fullmetal Alchemist, the first one, absolute dog shit. You could sit here and say that you liked it, Austin, but
It's
Fullmetal
better than
Alchemist
Brotherhood, in my opinion. They're on equal footing, but I like the character designs in the 2003 version better, which is why it gets the 1 point edge. I don't think the story is anything special.
If that's your take, then you should love Demon Slayer.
No, I don't love Demon Slayer. I like it, but I don't love it.
No one loves it. No one actually loves Demon
Because
Slayer.
the story is so generic and like formulaic that you
Austin.
watch it once.
Austin. No one loves Demon Slayer like that unless you're actually 10.
I actually had, when I worked at the pizza shop, I had a kid come in and I had my Naruto hat on. That I sometimes wear, and he told me. I asked if he's watching Vinland Saga. This was like during the winter of 2023 season,
A 10-year-old?
and he said, yeah, it was like the second core was coming out in winter, and then Swordsmith Village was coming out. And he said, "Oh, I'm actually watching Demon Slayer. I've never heard of the Vinland Saga, but I bet Demon Slayer's better." And I was like, "Yeah, here's your pizza. Get the fuck out of here, bud. Okay."
Here's your pizza. Get out of here.
That kid
Some
later.
little 12-year-old.
That kid later grew up to be Obama.
He later grew up to be Oda.
Oda, Ichiro Oda. He later grew up to become Ichiro Oda.
No, but I'm serious. People always tell me, I always ask, what makes Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood great? And they'll say, the story is amazing. The story is so boring and generic. It's been done plenty of times over, and people act like it's the first time ever.
I love alchemy. Alchemy is so fucking cool, and that whole like form of having this like unknown being at the end of like alchemy that has to do with equivalent exchange. I think no other show kind of encapsulates that idea. Like, oh fuck, this is why this is like this. And that's why I like
Attack on Titan.
No, I think AOT actually does it horrible. I hate the way the Attack Titan can just like shapeshift, time fucking stop, and it's like you have this like cool foreshadowing, but it's like I can't.
Equivalent exchange, which is you get the Attack Titan and you literally lose your entire life. You only have like 5 years to live.
That's every Titan. That's every Titan.
I gotta say, I find that dumb. I find what you said earlier kind of dumb because it's like I agree with you to the point where why are they even continuing the story at that point if that's the case? They should have ended it. They should have. They should have ended it very differently. I think. I mean, I don't like the time travel aspect and shit. It's kind of.
Wait, are you talking about AOT?
I'm talking about AOT. I find it okay with the Rice family. That like time travel was cool, and I think Twitter was like, oh my god, god level foreshadowing. But
I think they should have ended it at the peak, which was Eren like going around the world and shit. And I think they should have just ended it there, to be honest.
No, because you also wouldn't have that information.
So you guys know the ending of AOT then?
No.
So RJ does, but Omar doesn't. I think the ending was awful. Like I knew what was gonna happen because, I mean, it looked exactly like Code Geass.
Agree.
The whole
Agree.
thing,
That's the first thing I thought. Good thing you said that. That is the first thing I thought. I was like, this guy was the shittiest martyr, but actually Code Geass did it good. I was like, this guy is the shittiest martyr ever.
And then I don't Okay, I don't want to spoil it for Omar though, but I really want to go on a rant.
Anymore, bro. I'm not really.
I don't understand the whole point of him being a martyr, and then like the next chapter, fucking everything happens again. The same shit happens.
Aaron's
There are all
labeled a
these
martyr?
war. Well, he died. It's okay. So basically, he's killed. So then, all the hatred that the world has towards him is killed with him. Is like the goal, and then they aren't gonna attack Paradise because, Mikasa and all of them. They're the ones who kill Aaron, basically.
Mhm.
And so then they're gonna say like, okay, these are the Paradise Island people that we call devils, but they actually came and saved the world. Kind of like Code Geass. Code Geass, he does all this horrible shit, and then he's killed at the end. So then all the hatred of the world can die with him. So then when the new leadership comes in to take over, it has all of his ideologies in place, but he's not the leader, so they aren't gonna hate him. They're gonna follow the new regime that took out who they hated, which is Aaron in this sense. But then I'm pretty sure it's either the next chapter or the same chapter. Everyone goes back to war like a few years later, and then they go back to the tree, and like it's all happening again.
Yeah.
So what the fuck was the point of Aaron dying? Did I get that right, RJ? I haven't read in like a month or two. So
I always say this. Aaron he ain't do shit. He ain't do shit just for Parody to get fucking nuked.
yeah,
That's crazy. That's crazy.
He ain't do shit.
He
And
just-
like, just that wasn't fulfilled. People would love to suck AOT like off so hard, but Aaron didn't do shit just for them to get nuked. Parody and 50 nuked.
now do
Fucking-
you think they're gonna have a different ending for
No,
the
no,
anime, or they're gonna?
They already said they're not. Map. They already said no.
Didn't they have like multiple endings at one point?
No.
I think it was like fan endings.
Probably.
Fan endings, but no, nothing.
Yeah, because there was people like saying that like AOT went into this time travel like kind of thing, and now there's like multiple endings where they're like in a high school. I was
That
just
no,
like,
that's a side anime called AOT. They're like chibis.
Yeah. Every anime has that. It's like, what is it, like 2-minute episodes?
Bungo
And
Stray
they're all
Dogs is
like,
the best one though. Bungo Stray Dog has the best chibi.
Eminence in Shadow has one too. I
Yeah,
think.
I'm waiting for the 10 episodes for that thing to come out.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
Don't spoil
Dude,
it.
this last episode was so
Don't
hilarious at
say
the end.
anything.
God damn it.
You know what? I'm gonna watch it tonight so we can discuss it next week.
Okay. Omar needs to watch it too.
What is
It's
it?
Omar. It's like a tiny ass anime, bro. It's only, how many episodes are for season 1?
20.
Like, yeah, 20.
Oh,
You can
I'll
watch that
finish
shit.
that within a night.
Eminence
Oh,
is great.
And you'll watch it and you'll get through all 20 because you'll just keep going
Bungo
because it's
Stray
so
Dogs?
fun.
That you can watch that too.
Eminence in Shadow.
Bungo Stray Dogs has
Eminence
5
in Shadow?
seasons. Yeah.
It's on it's not on like Crunchyroll or anything. It's on High Dive, so you can just watch on like a third-party site.
Hmm.
I won't name it though. I don't want the site to get taken down.
Okay.
But
So we're rolling up in we got like 2 minutes left here. I wanted to see if we wanted to discuss any theories before we wrap it up today.
I
I'm
think
next. Number One Piece theories, please. I'm shivering, please.
I do.
I think in
Oh, God.
JJK this arc, I think something's gonna happen. Someone's gonna die in front of Yuji, and he's gonna let Sukuna out, and Sukuna's gonna like rampage or something.
No.
You should be a very good theorizer. Your theories would age like wine.
Oh, great. So
Does-
it's probably wrong, but we'll come back
Does-
to it if it happens.
Does he know?
Does he know?
I don't
Um,
know.
Yeah, well, I mean, my theory about One Piece.
Please let me hear this. So I
Do
can-
we have to go for just an hour? We could go longer.
We
I feel like we
if
could.
we feel like it, but I don't want to take any time away from anybody that has to do anything.
Well, I ain't got nothing going on in my life.
RJ, you want to go?
I can't really now.
Okay, I understand. RJ has a life besides the
I'm
podcast.
very constrained, sadly enough.
All right.
I'm an Uber per se.
Oh man, let's not get
Okay.
into that though. Anyway, yeah. So my theory for One Piece is more or less based off the last chapter. Austin, you can definitely feel, but
Yeah.
spoilers.
It's the end of the show.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So we see Saturn come out of that thing where it's the 5 elder stars, like it's a star in the middle, and then it's 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, like all over the place. And now we see him kind of taking over the whole situation at Egghead.
What's
We
the
learn-
theory?
Yeah, I'm getting to it, god damn it. So now, as we know, we went to God Valley, right? We went to 38 years into the past of God Valley to see like what was going on there. We learned about Kuma's race, which was the Buccaneers people that are more or less stronger. They're humans with giant blood, essentially. And we go on later to realize that the world government and the celestial dragons host what is it called? I'm sorry, I forgot the name of it.
It was a population eradication tournament.
Okay, so it was a population eradication tournament.
PET, yeah.
Yeah, so essentially they gather all these races around to fight, and then whoever's race, I guess, lost was eradicated. I mean,
No, essentially it's like you put these races of people, then you get the knights from Marie-Joie, and essentially whoever wins gets a prize. So one of the prizes was Kuma, and there was two other treasure boxes that looked like they held the fruits, the same thing that Shanks had when he had the Gomu Gomu fruit.
that's what I'm
So
getting to. That's what I'm getting to. I think it has to tie everything. I think there was 6 treasure chests. That's important to remember. Each chest holds the devil fruit. Kaido's fruit. I gotta go back.
Marco's fruit,
Not
Big
yet.
Mom's fruit.
Yeah. No, Big Mom's fruit. No, because Big Mom got her fruit from before.
Oh, I'm bugging.
So Kaido's fruit. She gave the fruit to Kaido.
Whitebeard fruit.
No, it was somebody else.
We don't know. We don't know that Whitebeard had his fruit before that.
I think Whitebeard didn't. We're gonna go on the assumption that he didn't. I gotta go back to the post, but it was Kaido's fruit. It was Whitebeard's fruit. It was Marco's fruit. It was Ivankov's fruit, Kuma's fruit, Dragon's fruit,
Yes, yeah.
and yeah. So we essentially think that the world government went in there essentially to like monitor the event or whatever. Then Rox pulled up. Now I'm thinking, oh shit, Rock's the good guy because he's going in and he's storming in there, and he's saying that. I'm sorry, my dog just yelled at me.
I
But
said, "Fuck you."
yeah, but I'm sorry, my dog was yelling at me.
He hates your theory.
He hates my theory. Yeah, I guess whatever. I
Me,
mean,
me and your dog.
what do you mean? What do you mean? That only makes sense because none of them have their devil fruits at
No,
that
no,
point.
no. I get it. It's just like a little super uber descriptive.
And then we
Like,
see
this chest
Dragon.
is this. This chest is that. This chest is this.
Okay, are you bullying me?
No, but it's
That's
like
not
super
what you're-
descriptive, and it's like kind of like everyone has like a like. Okay, you know what?
Why you bullying me? Thank you everybody for tuning in on this Wano Bros Podcast, episode 7. We hope to see you very soon within the next week. We'll probably figure out a new day to start posting, and then we'll probably start going live on YouTube and then posting things from YouTube onto YouTube.
And one thing before I go, I will next podcast we'll be carrying a gallon of lactose milk. Your boy is lactose intolerant, but I will carry that. So whenever there is a theory, I will just bring up the gallon of milk right here. It will be expired as well.
Okay. Good night.